This is The Bear and the Beard Podcast Season 3.
Hello there.
Your hosts are just two nerdy guys, talking nerdy things.
That's quite nerdy.
This nerdtastic duo sits down every episode, sometimes with friends and guests, to explore a new topic related to nerd or pop culture.
Oh yeah!
They may disagree or argue sometimes, and you may not always agree with them.
I beg your pardon.
But please remember, this show is mostly their opinion with some research and facts added in along the way.
To be fair.
The overall goal is to spread knowledge and love throughout the fandoms and to have fun doing it. Welcome to the conversation. Let's get nerdy with it.
Hello, can you hear me?
What's going on, everybody? The Bear here. Just to let you know, this is a bonus episode coming at you. We actually recorded this at CyphaCon 2022. It was a panel called Talking Nerdy Live. So really hope you enjoy it and let us know what you think. Check it out. Here we go. All right, what's going on, everybody? It's the Bear from the Bear the Beard podcast. I'm joined not by my majestically bearded, faithful co-host, Bearded Brian Guy, but instead by number one fan, Jenna, who is dressed as Squidward for the CyphaCon 2022 cosplay contest that will be later today at, I think, 5 o'clock, right? Is that when they're doing that?
I don't know.
4 o'clock. All right. So we are here in panel room 4, third floor, technically, of the Lake Charles Civic Center. We've been telling y'all all about this con for the past month or so, really ever since Fan Expo. And
my dad decided to come 2 weeks ago, and I started working on the costume
it's never
5 days ago.
It's never too late to attend a con. So we are here. We have some assembled people in the panel room, and this whole episode is just going to be us talking nerdy for like an hour. We're going to pretty much interview anyone that wants to be interviewed about their favorite fandom, fictional character, book collection. It doesn't matter. It's all nerdy. We all love it. And hopefully I can find some newfound love for some nerdy things that I might not know about. And this episode will be edited and released. Of course, you're watching it now, but I'm telling the people in the room, this will be edited and released on our pages probably within a month. So just as a follow-up to this. So if you don't want to be on YouTube, don't take part. But yeah. So I guess we'll start with Jenna. Jenna,
Yeah?
What is your favorite fandom?
That's hard. Like currently or overall?
Well, do you have separate answers for both?
Yeah.
Well, then give us both. That's
Currently, freaking all my mind is on is Bridgerton. I watched that season 2 like twice. It is so good.
I haven't watched Bridgerton at all.
Dad, I have not watched it for you.
I
Okay.
did see the lead actor.
that's
I can't
good.
remember his name, but he was on an episode of SNL where they made fun of the fact that he was on Bridgerton.
Yeah, it's Reggae. He has a fancy French name. So it's like Reggae John Paul, something like that.
Okay, so
But-
that's your current one. So what's your
I,
overall?
I like Anthony more than Reggae because Reggae is kind of...
So what's your overall then?
I don't know.
It's got to be Flash, or at least DC.
Well, I have gotten out of DC, but like I love DC, but I don't know. I feel like I'm more the type of person who like goes from fandom to fandom,
Right.
because like I have a very short attention span. Very short. Like and so I don't really have an overall one. Oh well, I do want to be an Imagineer, and I've been fixated on
So
Disney. Yeah, I've been fixated on Disney for the good bit of a year. So probably Disney, but I also like DC and
Okay.
Flash and all of that stuff.
Well, and I'm a huge Marvel buff. I mean, we've had conversations about that in the past. I mean, that's kind of what started the conversation at Jackson Comic-Con where we met you. But the only thing I have against
one of you
DC
guys-
is its film universe. Everything else is almost
Okay, but
perfect.
the Batman movie.
That's not in the DCEU.
Okay,
Jenna.
but still, you're saying it's filmed. It's still amazing.
I mean, Harley Quinn Birds of Prey is technically in the DCEU, but also there's some contention on whether it is or not. And I thought it was a pretty decent movie. But Peacemaker is probably saving DC at this point for me.
I like
personally.
Shazam.
I loved. Well, Shazam was good.
Shazam was good. I'm excited for the sequel.
Yeah,
in
Black.
December.
Well, now which one? The Black Adam movie or the sequel to Shazam?
Both.
Both. Yeah.
I feel like Rock. I've said this before, but like I feel like The Rock will either be an amazing Black Adam or a terrible Black Adam.
I like The Rock and everything he does, but most of the stuff I like him in is when he's being comedic, and I do not see Black Adam being comedic. So we'll see how that goes. Does anyone want to tell us about their favorite fandom or just talk nerdy with us for a little bit? Okay. I'm going to hand you my phone. Yeah, I'm getting up and moving. That doesn't normally happen on the show. I normally stay stationary.
I'm staying stationary.
Hello, this is Jenna. How are you today?
All right.
This is my ASMR podcast.
Adding to the stream, I literally just have it listed as the nerds. So if you're on here, you're listed as the nerd. Unmuting mic. Can't unmute you. Oh, you have to unmute. Click the unmute on the thing, and then. All right. So, what is your name, and where are you from, or whatever, and what's your fandom?
So my name is Mel. We're from not too far from here. It's like it was a 4-hour drive, huh, Daddy? Yeah, like
That's 4 hours for us from Jackson. Yeah.
yeah,
Luxy for us.
yeah, like yeah, New Orleans area
Okay.
is where we're from. My fandom. Well, I want to give two answers because you saying you're not like too deep in anime yet makes me want to give you, because I have a Disney cartoon that I'm obsessed with right now.
I
and
know
also,
a couple. I know a bit of anime. So
How did I know coming to an anime convention I'd have to deal with anime nerds?
this is an anime
I'm
convention.
so betrayed by the idea.
This is an anime convention.
It actually, okay, so little history. It started out as an anime con, and now it's just a little bit of everything, and I love that.
oh,
So okay, so what's you said there's a Disney cartoon. Let's get that one first because I'm a huge Disney nerd too.
so okay.
I mean, even if I didn't have kids, I would have watched
Is it a
Frozen
Disney
2
Channel
just for the fact that
cartoon?
Weezer's in it. All right,
Yeah.
come on.
But it so it's called Owl House.
Ow.
I
And
know.
I-
I've watched a bit of that.
I love it so much. It's about there's this girl named Luce, and she has a lot of trouble like socializing and like with other kids pretty much like at the beginning of the show. So in the first episode she got into a situation where she literally brought live snakes to school. So the principal had to call her mom and was like, "You have
As one does, brings live snakes to school.
yeah. So she's in the principal's office with her mom, and the principal is like, "You have to do something about this." So she has to send Luce to this. It sounds bad, but like when you watch the show, it's not as bad as it sounds in the beginning, but it's essentially a camp that's like supposed to make kids normal.
Mm-hmm.
And
That works.
yeah, and so Luce's mom tries to send her there, but she ends up finding a portal to this place called the Boiling Isles,
Okay.
and she ends up staying there for the rest of the summer.
Okay, I think I've seen this. It's kind of like It's kind of like if a Muggle went to Hogwarts, but Disney made it. Is that kind of because it's like a magic thing, right? Like a magical school, but she's like just a normal kid that's attending.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
like,
that's
she-
all I got
doesn't
out of like the
she-
one part of
Doesn't
an
she learn
episode.
to do magic for the drawing?
They're called glyphs. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She does learn, but it doesn't focus as much. Like the magic does play a big part in it, but it doesn't focus as much as her going to the school as much as it does kind of like her relationships with the witches that she meets on the Boiling Isles. And it's such a great show. I love it so much. Especially if any like fans of it watch this, they're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. But like if you ever get a chance to watch it, like pay attention to specifically Amity's development because I love her character development so much.
Have you seen like an episode of it?
I'm part of an episode,
Like
maybe.
she's the one
like
with green hair, right?
Yeah.
I seem to recall like it's one of those things like I'm sure it was on in the background because my kids were watching it at one point while I was doing something and something bled in to the from the peripheral vision, and I'm sure I've seen it, but like that's the same thing with me in like Gravity Falls and Amphibia and like with all especially the Disney shows like The Big Greens and all that. I know my kids watch it, but I do not sit down and watch episodes like intentionally watch episodes with them. I've paid my dues, y'all. I've watched all of the new My Little Pony series and both movies. All right. I learned more about Equestria than I ever wanted to know. All right. And I still have like I got an argument the other day about how the fact that a horned winged horse isn't a Pegasus. Oh, thank you. That's what I told that guy. He's like, no, I think you're wrong. I was like, hold on, let me ask my 16-year-old whether you're right or not. So no, I completely get it. And Disney is putting out some good content.
Because when I was younger, I used to be obsessed with My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Yeah, my aunt, she had a rocking horse. We had a rocking horse, and she made a Twilight Sparkle.
Ooh.
She was the one.
Yeah?
She was the one who made these pants too.
Oh, that's cool.
I
Yeah.
dyed them.
We're gonna do a whole thing with Jenna after this where we just show off the costume and her clarinet skills for sure. All right, so that was your Disney answer. What was the anime fandom thing?
The anime fandom would you've probably heard about it like briefly before just because it's popular, but Uran High School Host Club.
Oh, I watched
it.
I just
actually
started
know that
watching
one.
that.
Unfortunately,
I watched it recently, and I love it so much.
my oldest one is obsessed with that. She's got one of the little fabric posters that hangs down.
I'm not obsessed with that, but I was watching it.
It's a decent anime. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and watch it. I need at least a little bit of action. I mean, I do have to say, just from the little bit I've seen of it, if I had to pick a favorite character from Host Club, it's the twins themselves.
Yes,
like, as
I
a
love
character.
the twins.
If you separate them, they don't matter. it's the fact that they're twins that makes them funny.
I like the blonde one. I don't know his name.
Tamaki.
Tamaki, that's right. I like Tamaki, but I don't know. He's
I love the idea of sending our children to go be upstanding citizens. Yes.
No, I'm just wondering how, because like usually private schools bands are super small, so I'm just wondering if they have like a concert band, and how small is that?
That is a great question. Like they need to expand that anime and just start telling
like,
other stories from the other clubs in
my,
that school.
my friend was trying to get me to go to his Catholic school for like a year, and I was like, no, your band is so small and it always sounds so bad. Oh my god, because like everyone is exposed, so like if I'm only one of the 4 clarinet players, they're gonna hear me more.
Well, that's I've been in small choirs like that. On the Host Club thing, who's your favorite character from the Host Club?
Who's my favorite character?
And
My
then you're
fa-
probably going to have to explain who it is because I have no idea.
Yeah. my
No, you're
favorite.
just gonna have to describe their description. What do they look like for me?
We're going to have
If
to
it's
go
the
find them.
tall one with glasses, or you're gonna have to describe the description, the looks.
She well, she's the only girl one. She has the
Oh yeah.
well, I'm supposed to be her. You probably can't tell because I
Oh,
know
the
I
girl
know
that's
the
actually
wig
in
is
the host
bad.
club.
I know
that
the
isn't-
wig is bad.
No, it looks
No,
great.
No. Now that you told me which one,
See, if I knew host club, I
understand.
would have.
I know host club, and I didn't know because I don't know the characters.
It's because the wig is
But
bad.
it's okay.
And it's probably because the wig is bad, and also the jacket isn't. It's not
No,
really the
never-
right color.
Oh, you look good.
Never
you look good, girl.
knock
You
a
look good.
cosplay
You look good.
if you can
You
help
look
it.
good. Be proud. Be proud.
Thank
Like I know
you.
these legs kind of look ratchet somewhat, but I'm still proud.
I will suggest don't ever say that it looks bad. Say that this is what I could tweak about this for the next time because I've done that.
Yeah,
I used to cosplay as Captain America, and finally I was just like, I got to tweak too much of this every time I put it on, so I finally just shaved my head and when it's Hugo Strange. So
you know what? You're right, and that's what I'm gonna start saying from now on.
yeah,
I could-
never talk down about a cosplay, especially your own, because you took time to put into it. You care enough about that character to dress up as that character, and that's what it's all about. That is the definition of cosplay.
I don't care enough about Squidward to dress up as him. No, here's the thing. But I wanted to play my clarinet on stage because of a funny reason
At least,
I'm not gonna spoil.
yeah, no spoilers.
No spoilers here, because if you're going to
It's
the
gonna be
costume,
hilarious.
it's gonna
Show
be-
up for the
it's gonna be
cosplay
good.
contest. I'm telling you, I know
I
it's gonna be
definitely
great.
It's gonna be good.
Definitely.
No, and she's gonna do the Squidward walking sound when I walk on stage.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be great.
I've done it. I done the costume contest once before, and everyone said I was super funny, but it was I feel like this is gonna be like 10 times better than anything I've ever done. Cause it's not like I relate to Squidward or anything.
No, I think the ice cream truck's outside. Like I hear.
Oh wow!
I'm pretty sure I hear "Pop Goes the Weasel" right now. Like that.
Yeah, I heard.
Oh yeah, there's an ice cream truck.
Oh, ice cream truck just showed up at CyphaCon. That's cool. All right, so you told us about your favorites. Can you tell me, are you a Marvel or DC fan at all?
I am still trying to get into Marvel more because there's a lot I still need to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I haven't watched half of the movies. I know, but I don't have.
No, there's a lot of them.
Exactly.
I completely
I
understand.
don't really feel like I have a short attention span, and
Yeah.
that's why I like binge watching episodes more because I don't know, I just like that more because it's I can watch. I watched when I was in 8th grade, I watched Lucifer. Well, I watched all 3 seasons that were out, or all 4 seasons that were out on Netflix, and 3 days.
Yeah, that was before Netflix parental controls got smart, right? I'm guessing.
Hey!
I do like the new Disney Plus gen system and the mature content.
Oh, I only put my account as mature content because I want to watch Daredevil.
So, if you had to pick a favorite superhero right now from either Marvel or DC, or even just some of the other off-brand, more independent comic books, who's your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero would probably be Black Panther.
I can get behind that.
Yeah,
Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace. I hope they never recast T'Challa. They can give us a new Black Panther, but do not recast T'Challa. Is my stance on that.
Last I heard, I don't think they intend on.
Yeah, I think they're
recasting
doing her
him.
sister.
I think what they said was the next one would be his sister would become the ruler.
There's speculation that Shuri will either be the next Black Panther or that M'Baku will step up and go from being the White Gorilla to the Black Panther. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But I just hope they never recast T'Challa. That will be that's something that I know that fans can't get everything we want, but fan service is a thing. Let's make that not happen. So definitely. Well, thank you so much for talking with us. And I didn't bring anything to actually give out to everybody, but if y'all come by the booth later, we'll get y'all some decals and stuff like that for being on the show. Oh, you do have a pin.
Sure.
Look at you. This is why she's my co-host today, guys.
No, because I still like 2 pins from your table.
Did you?
I mean, borrowed nicely.
Borrowed nicely. Anyone else want to tell us about their favorite fandom or anything
And it seems like I only have 1 pin in my pocket.
Yeah, sure.
Oh no, I have 2 pins. Touch!
Oh. All right. We got our second audience nerd. All right.
Okay. Hi.
And your name and where you're from and all that
Occupation.
good stuff.
My name is Chris.
I'm so sick of talking about work.
My occupation is boring, so there we go.
Mine's landscaping. I literally have to have the patience to watch grass grow. Okay.
Okay. My name's Chris, and I'm originally from Lake Charles, but we actually moved to Conroe, Texas, about a year ago. But we're originally from
Texas.
Yeah, 2.5 hours.
It's only 2.5 hours?
Hold
It's
on.
half an hour to Texas to get in the Orange.
Yeah.
And then, but where we came from was 2.5.
Yeah.
How does it take less time to get to Texas than it gets for me to get back to Mississippi? That don't make
Well, we're
sense.
not that far into Texas then.
True.
Because
True.
Texas is huge.
Well, yeah.
It's
that's also
my God,
true.
it's huge. It's so big.
So, what's your fandom you want to tell us about today?
Well,
Pick one.
yeah. Oh, that's the problem. Is I got to pick one.
Your
So
most
my-
favorite is favorite.
My most favorite. I have 3.
It is on this
I have
podcast.
4. So, but like 2 of the ones that people do talk about a lot: Star Wars and
Of
Jurassic
course.
Park. Those are, of course, are ones that I grew up
You
with.
excited for Dominion?
Oh, very excited.
Yes.
Very excited.
Yes.
I've already been
Just
trying
all
to
the
find
yes.
toys. Trying to find toys. But my other ones are more recently. I've gotten big into the Universal monsters in
Okay.
the past few years. Just different.
Frankenstein,
variations of them.
Dracula, Mummy.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes. I love them. They just make me happy. But the one that I don't know if I was like trying to get people into because they're like, we don't know what that is. There's a British TV series called Red Dwarf. That's the face people usually make when they hear.
Well, it's confusing because it's like, is it about a mythological creature or is it about a star?
It is about
Well,
a spaceship.
It's about a spaceship. Okay.
Yeah. It is a sci-fi comedy series that started in the 80s and is still somehow going sometimes now.
So is it like the British version of Orville, even though it came out before the Orville?
Not quite.
No. Okay.
Because
That's the only other comedy space series
Yeah,
I know
like-
of. So
Orville's like kind of like more straight sci-fi with some comedic undertones, which I really like that.
right.
Like we recently started watching that, and I'm like, I love this show.
Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah,
I have to say that out loud at least once on the podcast.
yeah. Red Dwarf is more of it's like the Odd Couple in space.
Okay.
That's the best way to describe it. It's basically about the last human being alive that you would want to be the last human being alive.
Oh.
Like,
Okay.
Essentially, there's this guy, Dave Lister, he's just a slacker, doesn't really have any ambitions. Really nice guy, just no ambitions. And he boards a ship called Red Dwarf, like he's working on this ship, and he decides he doesn't want to be. Yeah, that's the show. There you go.
This one right
Yeah,
here.
that one.
Yeah.
That guy in the corner there. That's Lister. So
He
For
looks
the-
crusty.
For the people that are going to be watching the show later, I'm going to share this
Just
photo to the actual.
look at
screen,
some
though.
people.
Man, that man looks
That's my
crusty.
boys.
Oh, but he sounds.
She's not allowed to watch the show as much because his accent. He has like he's Liverpudlian, so he has like that Liverpool accent, and it's a great.
He's
it's a
what?
great voice.
No,
Liverpudlian.
say that again slower because I did not
Liverpool.
hear what you just said.
Liverpool.
He is
It's in
Liverpudlian.
England.
Liverpoolian. Okay.
Yes, Yes.
I didn't know that was a thing. Okay.
Yeah. So basically,
I'm learning so
he
much,
enlists in this crew. He's working on Red Dwarf. He lowest ranked dude on the ship, and he brings a cat on board because he likes animals. And
This is the show we're talking about. Right
yes,
here.
He looks
that is
crusty.
from 2012. Yeah, the show started in 1989, 1988, and that was 2012. So it's been trekking along.
So
sometimes.
33 years.
Yeah. Yes.
I only know that exact number because I was born in '89. But go ahead.
Oh wow. So yeah, he gets he's on this ship. He has a cat, and he gets put into quarantine because he brought a cat on board, or gets put into stasis as punishment. He has to give up. Basically, they can't execute him or something on a starship. So they put you in stasis so that you're not part of the crew. They don't have to pay you or anything like that. You're just frozen in time,
right?
Until your punishment time is up. So he's basically suspended for 6 months. During that 6 months, there's a radiation link on the ship that kills everyone.
Oh wow!
Except him because he's in stasis.
And the cat.
Right.
And the cat.
The cat, no.
And the cat.
Nope. The cat, no. So he has to wait.
I'm not watching
No
it
cats
anymore.
were harmed in the
I'm
making
not
of
watching it
this
anymore.
TV show.
If it's not him and the cat, no interest.
It's not him and that cat. So basically, he has to stay in stasis for it ends up being 3 million years before he's woken up because they have to wait for the radiation levels to go down.
That's a huge time jump for any sci-fi series, really.
Why didn't they put the cat in stasis?
Well, the cat he hid the cat in the air ducts before he was put in stasis to keep it so the crew couldn't find it, because if the crew found the cat, they would dissect it. They would make sure it's not contaminated with anything. So we hid it in the air ducts because it's a 5-mile long ship. They're never going to find the cat in the air ducts. So as soon as the radiation leak started, the first thing the ship's computer did was shut down the air ducts so air wouldn't get through. So the cat survives.
Wow.
3 million
Oh, the cat survives. The cat survives. Okay, never mind.
The pregnant cat survives. So Lister wakes up 3 million years later. The ship's computer, Holly, tells him that basically, yeah, it's been 3 million years. The entire crew are dead. Everyone you knew is dead. Your best friends are all dead. The love of your life is dead. Everybody's dead, Dave. But I'm going to bring back one person as a hologram to keep you company. So he brings back his roommate, Rimmer, who is just the most annoying person ever. And the idea being that they were roommates, they shared the most time together, best person to keep him sane. But it is very much a yin and yang. It is Oscar and Felix from The Odd Couple.
Okay.
In space. But they're not the only ones on the ship, because over 3 million years, the cats have evolved. All of them have left the ship except for one who is just... Okay, have y'all seen Hamilton?
Yeah.
Y'all remember what Thomas Jefferson was like in Hamilton?
Yeah.
What did I miss?
I'm going to watch Hamilton in July.
Oh wow, that's the cat. Just super vain, only cares about himself, wonderful creature.
Okay.
So yeah, and it's just basically them slumming through space, going on little adventures. It starts off very sitcom-y, where it is just kind of like small little, stories and everything. They kind of get into what happened to cats and everything. Do aliens exist in this universe? Spoilers, no, they don't. And then they kind of go into more like sci-fi type things throughout the series and play a lot with the idea of psyche and things like that.
Did the cats evolve into furries?
No, they look like people. They're people with fangs.
So humanoid.
So they're cat humans.
Sort of. But very vain Thundercats in space. No, they just look like, they're what a show in 1988 that has no real budget would make a cat person look like. So he's got fangs and a nice suit. And
as soon as you said that, all I'm sitting here thinking is Thundercats. Oh, in space.
No. Lister is the only one that looks crusty. But that's because he is a slob.
We'll see.
I'll have to check that out, though. As far as British comedy, the only thing I'm really familiar with is Monty Python. So I mean, it's been around a while.
Yeah,
I tried to watch the original Office from BBC, but I could not get into it for some reason. I still haven't gotten into the
It's
American
okay.
version either.
I watched Jekyll and Hyde.
But yeah. So Red Dwarf, where can we watch Red Dwarf?
Red's. That's the thing is I'm not sure where you can watch it. It's not on.
I'm
Netflix.
gonna go find out.
Good.
They usually
Like
say
I'm
where
like
you
I have
can
it on
watch
DVD.
it.
That's how I have it. Because I'm old. Yeah. But it's funny because it lasted.
We can watch it on Amazon Prime.
Probably,
yeah.
well, you might have
Probably
to.
got to pay for
You
it.
have
but
to
yeah.
probably rent it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it lasted for 6 seasons, like 1988 to 1993 ish, and then it had like a to be continued after season 6, and it came back a few years later, like 97, I think, for season 7 and 8.
Okay.
And then 8, it's not really a show that concerns itself with like cliffhanger type things, but 8 decided to go in a weird direction and end on a super cliffhanger where you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen next?
And then you never find
10
out.
years later, they finally did a follow up, but they don't explain anything. And they actually, it's become a joke where they don't explain how
Oh,
this
that's
cliffhanger-
great.
But it was kind of funny because, you know, we waited 10 years for a reunion type thing. And the reunion thing for this show that is a straight up sitcom was just sad. It was like this existential view about like, you know, what are you doing out in you're out in space this long? How long before you crack? Like, you know, how long before you just give up on life? And I'm like, is this what Red Dwarf is going to be now? Just this sad,
Just all these sad, depressing questions.
Yeah, it's like the season 9, the quote unquote season 9 is just heartbreakingly sad.
Oh wow!
And
I
then
got
they were
on
like, good
medicine
news.
to not be like that.
Yeah, and they were like, good news. After season 9, we kind of like it showed there was still a love for this series. We're gonna make a season 10, and I was like, oh no, I don't know if I want that. Then season 10 on, there's 10, 11, 12, and then they did another special about the cats, about the cat people.
Oh, that's cool.
In like just in 2020, I think, called Promised
Is
Land.
it the 2020 Cats movie?
No,
It
no,
is
but
better. But they did a special, and all those have been more fun.
we don't talk about that movie.
I saw
No,
that
my
movie.
aunt drags me to watch it because I don't know. She wanted to get me back. She wanted to get back at me, and she likes cats for some reason. My dad watched it. My dad watched Cats on Broadway. And he
See,
said,
the Broadway makes sense.
No,
the
he
movie
said,
did
he
not.
said he hated it. He hated it.
It was my first time in New York. I'd go to the Lion King theater and I'd get a ticket.
Right.
Holy cow! I mean,
You go to the Lion King theater, but you get to see a show that's not about the cats you're looking for.
so I'm like, okay, let me try to catch the next time. So the second Broadway show I do is this Cats.
Oh dear.
And I'm like, oh my god.
I would rather sit through Avenue Q than sit through
I love
Cats.
Avenue Q. I loved Avenue Q. I stand by the Cats movie. It is exactly as good as a live action movie based on Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical The Cats, based on T.S. Eliot's book Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. It's exactly as good a movie as that musical could be.
Okay.
That's
everyone has their movie that is almost universally hated, which, and I'll talk about this in my panel tomorrow. There's no such thing as universal hatred, but everyone has their movie that they're willing to defend, and I respect you for that.
Oh no, no, that's not that's not me defending it. I'm just saying it couldn't have been any better than what.
Well, right. Even if that's the only defense it gets, at least it's defendable by that.
The only good song in Cats is Memory.
There are some songs in there I'm like, oh, that's cute. But
you don't like Jellicle Cats? Jellicle Cats?
The only good song in there is Memory, and that's a fact. You can have your opinion about the songs, but it's not.
Are you saying it's the best written one?
It's the best song in Cats.
That's an
in
opinion.
general.
That's an
okay,
opinion.
But
unless you can prove that it was like I watched a breakdown of how
you
the Welcome to the Black Parade is actually written to be the perfect scale because it hits like the certain note transitions and all that. Like I watched a music major break it down and I'm like, this makes sense, but I know that not everyone agrees because when they hear that first note, they're instantly sad. So they get G chord dead. So So, all right. So you told us about Red Dwarf. Are you into Marvel, DC, any superhero fandoms?
Yeah,
or
I like
any of the
the
more
movies.
mainstream ones other than
Um,
Star Wars and stuff.
I just watched Moon Knight.
Moon Knight's
Well, I've
great.
not watched that yet.
We did a live stream about.
I do like the comic book movies. I don't like. I've kept up with like some of the Disney Plus shows.
Mhm.
I didn't watch What If. I watched 2 episodes of What If, and I found it just extremely frustrating. So
You mean the fact that they didn't base it off any of the comic book what ifs? And they
no,
built
that the
What If
2
universe?
episodes I watched, the continuity didn't work.
Right.
And that bothered me. And if they didn't call it out so hard in the episodes where like you hire Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher, who has like just this great gravitas voice where you
Played an
listen.
awesome
you
Detective
listen,
Gordon
yes,
too.
like you listen to Jeffrey Wright when Jeffrey Wright talks. And so whenever he says, "This is the moment that changes everything," and you watch it and they show the moment, and you're like, "Wait a minute, no, Jeffrey Wright, moment doesn't change everything. This doesn't work." Like in the timeline of the story, it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. And if they didn't hire someone that had such a demanding voice, where you would be like, "Oh, I should pay attention to this," they probably could have gotten away with it.
Yep.
But no, the episodes I saw, like the setups, the what if scenarios didn't work, like continuity wise, where I'm like, this maybe not be for me because I'm just distracted by the rest of the episode based on that.
I won't sit here and try to defend What If and say that it's the best anything that Disney Plus has put out. But I will say that they kind of make up for some of that toward the end. So if you can get past the first few continuity errors,
Yeah.
and overlook, because it is supposed to be What If. Like, don't say like, oh, so like the whole debate, like, oh, Vision could have done that the whole time. No, because Vision's not a bad guy.
Oh no,
Yeah,
it's
like,
whenever
stuff
they
like that.
it's whenever
So-
they do something and call it out, and specifically,
Right.
if you like line up, they're trying to like mimic something from the movie,
Mhm.
and if you line it up with the movie before the timeline
makes
was
no
breaking, and it's not
Exactly.
the same, you're like, wait a minute, that they're over there
If you-
here,
but
that's
if
not where
you
they
can get
were.
past a few of those,
Um,
it kind of pays off in the end. But again, I'm not going to sit here and say it's the best one ever.
I do want to watch the T'Challa Star-Lord one because
Yes!
I did watch the beginning of that one
That
because I
was my
wanted to see what the what if scenario was for that one, like if they were all broken plot hole type things, and that one I was like, okay, that one makes sense. And I did like the beginning of it, but I was like, I want to watch this for a while. She probably would like this one too. So I haven't watched that one yet.
And that was all, of course, the last time we had Chadwick's voice
Mhm,
too. 'Cause
yeah.
he recorded that before. He
But,
filmed all of his stuff.
But yeah, I like the majority of the MCU movies. I've liked some of the DC movies, handful of them. More of
Snyder
the
cut or
recent ones.
Joss Whedon cut?
I'd go with neither, really. But if I had to choose, I would choose the Snyder cut.
I'm so glad I don't host a DC podcast, or else I'd have to argue with you. But I don't have to because I agree.
Because it's like it's 4 hours. It doesn't have. It doesn't have. To
It didn't
be
need to
4
be that
hours.
long. I agree.
I really liked a lot of the cyborg stuff in it. I liked him in like.
I love that we got to know Victor Stone.
Yes, he had some great moments. There were moments. What was funny is that so much of the movie is CG. Of course, because they're comic book movies. And it's frustrating whenever they do something at a moment where they don't need to. Like, there's a moment where Cyborg, the first time he flies, and you can tell it's the first time he has ever flown. And there's a look on Ray Fisher's face and like the emotions in his face. I'm like, this dude's an actor. Like, you can read so many things in this expression, and you see it for maybe 2 seconds before it becomes his little mask instead. Because he's flying. I'm like, no, go back to that face.
I've never
that's
watched
performance.
I haven't watched Justice League yet.
You should watch the Snyder cut. At
Yeah,
least once.
Like, I don't have HBO or.
I'll give you my login. Netflix is cracking down. HBO's not, at least not yet. Well, thank you, Chris, so much for that. I'm going to try to check out Red Dwarf, especially.
You should.
You're trying to check that out. You're not, but it has cat people in it, Chad.
Okay, well, no.
All right. Anyone else? You got 15 more minutes?
She wants to do it. We are living in a material world, and I am a material good.
Get my steps in, y'all. I'm hatching my Pokemon.
You want the halfway broken pin?
I will get them pins and stuff. Jenna.
I don't care. You want the pin?
Don't throw anything. You get a pin. You get a pin. You get a pin.
I used to play softball, so I quit. No, I used to play softball. I quit to take piano lessons.
All right, we have. We're probably actually going to only have time for this last one. So, your name, where you from, all that good stuff.
My name is Isabel, and I'm from Jaro.
Okay, hold on.
Welcome, Isabella.
I can't hear, so I'm just going to do this number right here. Turn that. Okay.
See.
Jenna can stay up there and give commentary on the mic.
I'll stay up here.
All right. No, halfway between my microphone and
I'm
the
sorry.
No, you're completely fine. I'm getting my steps in. I'm walking my Pokemon.
I doubt you get very much steps in.
Isabel.
Isabel? Okay.
I'm from around New Roads.
Okay.
And currently, the fandom that I'm into right now is Danganronpa.
I have no idea what that is.
Long story short, it's basically about this kid who enrolls in this high school that's basically for the best of the best. And he goes in and gets knocked out just to find out, just to get sucked into this killing game. Where basically they're trapped in the high school and
is it Danganronpa?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I know what that is. It's anime.
It's anime and it's also a manga.
Okay.
And it's split into 3 different.
So it's like a kid version of Squid Game, like that came out before Squid Game was.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I get it.
You want that name? It's your game.
And basically, person after person gets killed, and they have to have a trial. And if they find out who the murderer is, then the murderer gets executed.
I think your computer. Oh, it's back on. No, but I was trying to.
Go ahead.
I was trying to get the Danganronpa, a picture of Danganronpa, and I'm not good at computers, so I think I kind of broke something. It's okay. We're good. I'm good.
And we're back. I'm gonna put that I probably broke it while I was on my way over here. For all I know.
No, it was me. It was me.
The last time I tried to record a panel, my mic didn't work. So, and then I tried to forget the cord on the way here today. Okay.
If they find out who the murderer is, then only the murderer gets executed. But if they don't find out who the murderer is, then they get executed and the murderer gets freed.
See, now all I'm sitting here thinking is that this needs to happen at the Mystery Inc. school. Like, the Shaggy and the gang need to enter into the game and try to figure out who the murderer is. No, that sounds really cool. So it's essentially murder high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they figure out who it is, that person gets killed. But if they don't, they just keep dying and the prisoners. How long do they have to figure it out?
They have an unlimited amount of time.
Oh, okay. So just hold. Hey class, this semester we're going to study basics. Next semester you're going to have to start figuring out who the killer is because you only got 2 more terms after that before you're all going to die. That sounds like an anime. Okay, well I'm going to have to check that one out. You said it's a manga too?
Yeah.
See, last physical manga I would ever done when it was coming out like every month or whatever. So.
I have never been able to read mangas because I have not got past.
Well, how do you know that that's not the correct way we're supposed to read comic books in America? Just got it wrong. What other? So that's anime. Do you have any other fandoms or stuff that's just? Because you never know. Like you might think it's off the wall, but like 5 of our listeners might be like, "How does Bear not know about that?"
I guess the only other fandom that I can really think of.
I don't care anymore. I'm having fun talking about it. If I gotta edit out half of this, then I'll just. I didn't actually say something went wrong. Yeah, the Wi-Fi went down. Oh well. I just hope it got the fact that it was Magna Ropa in there, so that I know what to put in there for the episode. So anything, any other other fandoms that you think might not be? Y'all might surprise you. You might say something about, I love that.
I guess the only other fandom that I can really think of is Undertale.
Undertale?
Yeah. It's a game.
I say all I play is Fortnite.
I fixed it.
No.
I fixed it.
No.
All on my own.
Undertale?
No,
What is it?
I fixed it.
Oh, well, thank you. You said you weren't good at computers, but you fixed it.
Well, I'm a teenager, so
Does that automatically make you better at technology than me?
yeah.
I agree. So Undertale, what's Undertale about?
It's about this kid who falls down this hole It's about this kid who climbs up this mountain and falls down a hole and basically...
So like the second half of Moana.
Shiny!
Really tall down, just cannonball down the hole?
Yeah.
No, that movie was just a lot of walls.
You have two options in the game. You can either...
Do the pacifist?
Yeah, pacifist or genocide against all these monsters that they encounter.
So is it like Fable where you get to make the decisions and it changes how the game turns out, or?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I played like the first part of it, and I was really upset. I just wanted to stay with the sheep girl. Like, why do I have to go on an adventure? Can I not just stay?
Stealthy in all the stealth games. I wind up getting spotted. So
Exactly. I just want to stay and live my life out
I don't know
with the
why
sheep
I'm
girl.
classified as a murderer. Everybody's scared of that guy. Vigilante seems to sum it up a lot better. So you have the passive and the, did you say genocidal?
Yeah.
So they just skip over aggressive. You go straight from passive, over passive aggressive, over aggressive to I'm gonna kill everybody.
No, my band director made the joke.
All over it. I love it.
My band director made the joke about genocide because my name's Jenna. I was like, I'm gonna commit mass genocide, and he was like, so you're gonna kill all the Jennas?
I thought he was just gonna make you stand up and turn to the side.
I don't really like my band director, but
where
it's
can we
okay.
play Undertale? Because I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm always looking for new video games.
I know you can download it on Steam.
Okay. That doesn't help me. I'm an Xbox player. I'm not a part of the master race.
I'm sure you can download
I
it
got it
on
on the
Xbox.
Nintendo Switch.
Undertale.
Yeah.
Okay. And any mainstream fandoms that you're just really excited about? Any movies coming out or anything like that coming up?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Well, I think that's actually, we're just going to about do our time anyway. What time?
2:55. We got like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's long enough to pack. Thank you so much. Awesome. Well, let me do the outro real quick. Thank y'all so much for being here. This is actually our first live episode. We are also the first time we've gotten to use StreamYard other than at my house.
The last time you tried to do a live episode, it didn't work out. Hi, camera.
Well, it did work out and it didn't. It depends on your definition of success.
My
If
definition.
it successfully showed me what I did wrong, then it was still a success.
My definition is it did not function properly. So.
Well, yeah, that's true. So, and that is, where's my, there, boom, there it goes. All right, that is going to wrap up the episode. Thank y'all so much for being here. We learned about Undertale. We learned about Red Dwarf. We learned about Host Club and
Bridgerton.
Bridgerton.
Season 2 is 10 times better. If you
we
have
also
not,
learned that cat people is not an outplayed thing. So
if you have not watched Bridgerton, I would besides you, Dad.
So now that the Talking Nerdy episode is over, I'm going to play this, which is the outro for that.
Be sure to send in your response to this week's Talk Nerdy topic, and any other nerdy stuff like episode topic suggestions, fan theories, or cosplay photos so we can put it in future episodes. If you think it's nerdy, we want you to share it. The Talk Nerdy links like the email and website are in the episode description as always. And don't forget you can also call or text the Nerd Line. That number is in the description as well. That's all for now. Let's get back to the show.
All right. Like I said, that's going to do it for the panel because I'm sure they're fixing to try to come kick us out of this room anyway. Thank y'all so much for being here. This episode will be, and for y'all watching, stop listening right now. This will be up in about 2 to 3 weeks, somewhere in there. It'll probably be a bonus episode. We also follow the Facebook page, text us on the Nerd Line, all that stuff. I got the business cards at my table if you don't mind coming to grab one of those. And we actually do live streams. Try to do one a week, one every 2 weeks, somewhere in there, where it's just like this, except you join in on your phone or your computer and you're in the chat with us instead of having to actually be in the one room. So thank y'all so much for being here. We appreciate it. In the meantime, stay awesome, stay bearded. Much love. Thank you, Jenna, for being here. We're out.
Boom, cut the check.
All right.
Another episode done. We hope you enjoyed it. New episodes are released every other Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Check back then or subscribe so that your device downloads it automatically. Audio episodes are now available pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts, so it's really easy to share them with all your nerdy friends. For YouTube viewers, subscribe and click the little bell so you're notified about all our new content. And Apple users, please don't forget to rate and review on the app. That helps more nerds find us. Links to Talk Nerdy to us can be found in the episode description as always. You can chat with the bear, the beard, or the rest of the Bearded Bear team, head researcher and graphic designer, Mama Bear, the master of marketing, Han Bralo, or the social media sorcerer, Nerd Squatch. Huge thanks to them and all of the geeks of the round table and friends of the cast. Much love y'all. Lastly, for more cool music like this awesome new outro track, go check out Harlequin Soul, Secret Apex on Facebook and Spotify. His links are in the description as well. Talk at you next episode, nerds. See you then.
Are you a fan or just pretend? I'd like to know if you're a friend or an enemy. If so, stay away from the wrong me. Welcome to the end. Are you a fan or just pretend? I'd like to know